You're staring at the ceiling at 3 a.m. There's a weird rattling noise coming from your car's engine that wasn't there yesterday. There are rumors of layoffs at work. Check your banking app in the dark. $412. Your stomach turns. You calculate how many days until payday. You don't sleep. Now, reset the scene. Same car noise, same rumors at work, but when you open that app, you see $20,000. You roll over, pull the blanket up, and go back to sleep. Spoiler alert, it's not the car that's keeping you awake. It's the math. Everyone tells you money can't buy happiness. That's a lie poor people are told so they don't riot. Money buys peace. Specifically, the first $20,000 buys you out of slavery. And before you say that $20,000 is impossible, let's look at what happens when you don't have it. The system is designed to punish you for being broke. It is expensive to be poor. Let's say you have $50 in your checking account. You buy groceries for $60 because you miscalculated. The bank approves the transaction, but they hit you with an overdraft fee, $35. That means you just paid $95 for $60 worth of food. That is a 58% tax on your existence. Banks made over $15 billion in overdraft fees last year. Let me say that again, $15 billion. They are not making that money off the rich. They are making it off you. If you have $20,000 in the bank, that fee is $0. The system literally charges you less for having more. This is what economists call liquidity. Basically, it means having cash access to solve problems instantly. Without it, every minor inconvenience becomes a financial crisis. Think about your tires. If you're broke, you buy the cheapest used tire for $50 because that's all you have. It lasts 6 months. Over 5 years, you spend $500 on shitty tires and hours in the shop. If you have $20,000, you buy the high-quality Michelins for $200. They last 5 years. You saved $300 and 10 Saturday mornings. This is the Boots theory of economics. You remain poor because you cannot afford the upfront cost of being efficient. Now, look at your credit card. If you have $20,000, you pay your balance in full every month. Your interest rate is effectively 0%. You get points. You get cash back. The bank pays you to use their money. But if you don't have that cash cushion, you pay the minimum. Credit card companies have a name for people who pay their bills in full. They call them deadbeats. Why? Because they make no money off them. They love revolvers. That's the industry term for people who carry a balance. If you carry a $5,000 balance at 25% APR and pay the minimum, it will take you over 15 years to pay it off. You will pay thousands in interest. You are the product. Your debt is their asset. The first $20,000 isn't just a number. It is your escape velocity from being a revolver. Pause. This is where people get trapped. You're thinking, Tim, I can't save $20,000 when I'm living paycheck to paycheck. I know. The first $20K is the hardest money you will ever accumulate. It is miserable. It feels like climbing a wall of glass. But here is the secret nobody tells you about the math of that first $20K. It changes the power dynamic of your entire life, specifically at your job.
When you have $0 in the bank, your boss doesn't just employ you, he owns you. If he screams at you on a Tuesday, you have to sit there and take it. Your heart rate spikes, your cortisol levels go through the roof. You go home, kick the dog, yell at your kids, and lose sleep. Why? Because you are terrified. You are one paycheck away from homelessness. But when you have $20,000 sitting in a high-yield savings account, your boss screams, you sit back, you look him in the eye, you are calm, because you know you can survive 6 months without him. That confidence, it actually makes you better at your job. It makes you promotable. Desperation stinks, and bosses can smell it on you. Let's look at a real case study. Meet Sarah. Sarah makes $65,000 a year. She's doing okay. She drives a 2018 Honda Civic. Watch what happens to Sarah in 2 different timelines. In timeline A, Sarah has $0 in savings. She's living the normal American life. Her transmission blows. The mechanic quotes her $1,800. She doesn't have $1,800. She panics. She puts it on a credit card with 24% interest. Now that repair costs $40 a month in interest alone. She's stressed, she's distracted at work, She misses a deadline, she gets passed over for a promotion that would have paid her $5,000 more a year. The total cost of that transmission wasn't $1,800. It was her $5,000 raise she missed, plus the $500 in interest she paid. That one event set her back 3 years. Now, timeline B. Sarah has the exact same job, same car, same transmission failure, but she has $20,000 in the bank. Mechanic says $1,800. Sarah's annoyed. Nobody likes losing money. But she transfers the cash. She pays it. She goes to work the next day focused. She hits her deadline. She gets that $5,000 raise. In timeline B, the transmission cost her $1,800. In timeline A, it cost her her future. That is the difference. Money is a shield. Without it, life hits you directly in the face. And here's where the math gets really fun. The first $20,000 is pure grunt work. It is eating rice and beans. It is saying no to your friends. It is picking up overtime. It is 100% your effort. But once you have it, the money starts working for you. If you put that $20,000 in the S&P 500 and it grows at a historical average of 10%, that money makes $2,000 a year. You didn't lift a finger for that $2,000. You were sleeping. You were playing video games. Your money was out there working a second shift. Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett's partner, famously said, "The first $100,000 is a bitch." He wasn't trying to be rude. He was being mathematical. To get from 0 to 20K, you have to save 20K. To get from 20K to 40K, you might only need to save 18K because your money earned the other 2K. The system wants you to give up before you hit that critical mass. They want you to look at your savings account, see $500, and think, what's the point? I'll never get there. So you spend it on a new iPhone. Apple wins, the bank wins, you lose. You need to understand exactly where to put this money, because if you leave $20,000 in a regular bank account, you are literally setting it on fire. Let me say that again. A regular bank account is a trap.
Most major banks pay you an interest rate of 0.01% on a checking account. If you park $20,000 there for a year, they will pay you $2. $2. You can't even buy a coffee with that. Meanwhile, inflation is running at 3%. That means your $20,000 loses $600 of purchasing power every single year. You think you're saving. Actually, you're slowly bleeding out. The bank takes your $20,000, lends it out to your neighbor for a car loan at 7%, and keeps the difference. They make $1,400 off your money. They give you $2, and then they charge you a monthly maintenance fee if your balance drops. They're laughing at you. Here is the actionable solution. You need a high-yield savings account, or HYSA. In 2026, a good HYSA pays around 4.5 to 5%. That same $20,000 now earns you $1,000 a year just for sitting there. That is risk-free money. That covers your car insurance. That covers your phone bill. That is the system finally paying you. If you don't have an HYSA yet, pause this video, open a new tab, and search for one. Don't let your current bank steal another dollar from you. And if you're finding this breakdown helpful, hit that like button and subscribe. It tells the algorithm that financial literacy matters. Now, how do you actually get to that first $20,000 without starving? You don't do it all at once. Step 1 is the emergency floor. Aim for $2,000 first. This stops the bleeding. This covers the flat tire or the vet bill so you don't have to use a credit card. Once you have the floor, you build the wall. You have to widen the gap between your income and your ego. Most people get a raise and immediately buy a better car. They call it lifestyle inflation. I call it staying poor. To get to $20,000, you have to live like you were broke while making money. You drive the 2018 Honda until the wheels fall off. You cook at home. You wear the same shoes. It is lonely. Your friends will go to brunch on Sunday. You will say no. They will lease new cars. You will say no. They will look rich. You will be rich. There is a massive difference.
When you hit $20,000, something shifts in your brain. You stop making decisions out of fear. You start making decisions out of opportunity. You can quit a toxic job because you have a runway. You can move to a cheaper city because you can afford the moving truck. You can start a business because you can buy the inventory. $20,000 is not a finish line. It is the price of admission to a life where you are in control. It will take you 2 years of sacrifice to get there, but the alternative is 40 years of slavery to a boss you hate and a bank that despises you. The choice is yours. Do the math. See you in the next video.